Okay, cool. Sorry. And time. Man versus nature. Human intervention up against the elements. People versus terroir. Judges, I know this may sound like the opening to a sci-fi action film, but it's not. Rather, this is the tension at the heart of an ongoing debate within the specialty coffee industry. What creates incredible coffee? Is it the luck of nature or the work of man? To help us answer this, I'm going to be making us an exceptional coffee from a producer who often behaves like a mad scientist. Diego Bermudez, the Bill Nye of the coffee world. First, I'll be pulling the shots for your final course, the signature drink. The coffee I'm working with comes from Diego's farm, El Paraíso, found around 2,000 meters above sea level in Cauca, Colombia. And it's a geisha varietal. Geisha is renowned for its sweetness and florality, so we already know we're working with a lovely coffee. But it's not just nature at play. This is a specific yellow geisha that Diego and his team have been grafting onto rootstock for the last 5 years to ensure the plant's genetics and absolute deliciousness with every harvest. After careful picking, the cherries are washed with purified water and placed into a pressurized tank for a 60-hour anaerobic fermentation. But it doesn't end there. This is where Diego really starts to show his mastery of flavor. He removes the cherries from the tanks, depulps them, and then places them back into a tank in a bath of their own pulp or mucilage. Finally, he plays with the flavor precursors that occur from certain styles of fermentation or by adding specific strains of yeasts or bacteria. He adds a lactobacillus bacteria to the tank, which, over the course of a second 48-hour anaerobic fermentation, will break down the sugars and introduce a beautiful tropical character to our yellow geisha, which you will taste as passion fruit in your espressos. Just when you think Diego is done, he hits the coffee with his signature move, the thermal shock wash. Here, he drops the coffee into 40 degrees Celsius water and then quickly 12 degrees Celsius water to arrest the fermentation and lock in his flavor profile. When it comes to drying his geisha, Diego uses his own invention, the Enigma dryer. This machine dehumidifies our coffee to 10% moisture in a fast but very gentle 29 hours, preserving that delicate geisha quality. Now that we know all about Diego's work, let's give it a taste. My recipe for all 3 of your courses will be a dose of 18 grams and a yield of 50 grams, with a brewing temperature of 93 degrees Celsius. This longer ratio is necessary for me to balance the organic acids and flavor created by Diego's unique style of fermentation. Judges, please write down what you will taste from your espressos. A medium to high citric acidity, a medium to high sweetness, and a low to medium bitterness. You'll taste the flavors of passion fruit, ripe strawberry, and dried apricot. It has a long and lingering finish that turns to a pleasant dark chocolate. I'm going to let you know about the body in just a second. Before you take your first sip, please lift the cup to your nose to get a smell of that incredible jasmine floral and peach skin aroma. It really is beautiful. Inspired by the effects of Diego's thermal shock in processing, I'm using a technique known as rapid chilling. With these frozen steel spheres, I'm able to trap the volatile aroma compounds, lifting the sweetness, adding complexity, and keeping that beautiful aroma around for a little bit longer. But most importantly, enhancing the body of our espresso, which you will experience as medium with a silky and coating mouthfeel. Please stir and enjoy. Moving to our milk course. For me, this was another battle of man versus nature. Our geisha is beautiful and light, but milk can be heavy. So to enhance the body of our espresso, I'm adding a second coffee from El Paraíso that further demonstrates Diego's expert intervention. This is a marugujipe, fermented using a koji fungus for 4 days, and then washed in a mosto or coffee cherry juice. To 15 grams of my geisha, I'm adding 3 grams of this marugujipe. The koji adds a new level of flavor and intensity to an often overlooked varietal, with the rich umami character improving the body and turning that note of dried apricots from your espresso to a new note of cherry with dark chocolate. Moving to the milk for this course, I'm using a fresh, full cream dairy milk that I enhanced through human intervention. With freeze distillation, I'm able to reduce the water content in the milk, concentrating the natural sugars and fats, giving us a creamier drink with a sweeter flavor. Thank you. I'm steaming my milk to 60 degrees Celsius to achieve its optimal sweetness. But before pouring, I'm going to be borrowing from Diego's signature move, his thermal shock. I'm dropping my milk over this frozen steel sphere, bringing it down to around 50 degrees Celsius, thermal shocking it to a temperature closer to your body temperature, where your perception of texture and sweetness will be higher. Please write down what you're going to taste from your milk drink. Melted strawberry ice cream. Salted caramel. And cherry with dark chocolate. Please stir front to back 5 times to incorporate the crema and enjoy in at least 3 sips. I'm adding 70 grams of this milk to each of your espressos to achieve a harmonious balance with this geisha maragogipe blend. Just a reminder of those tasting notes. Melted strawberry ice cream. On your second sip, salted caramel and cherry with dark chocolate. Please enjoy. Thank you. Moving to our signature course, I've drawn inspiration from Diego's processing techniques. So for my first ingredient, I made a fermented milk, or kefir, a rich source of lactobacillus, the same bacteria that Diego uses to give our geisha its beautiful tropical character. To create this, I added 10 grams of a kefir starter to 500 grams of fresh dairy milk, sealed it and left it for 24 hours. I'm adding 50 grams. The tanginess and texture of the kefir will turn that passion fruit note on your espresso to a new note of peach drinking yogurt. Next, to echo the mucilage maceration that Diego does in his second fermentation, I macerated leftover pucks from our geisha with fresh pineapple. It takes too long to do with you on stage, but I'll show you exactly how I did it. I collected 200 grams of spent grounds, added 200 grams of fresh pineapple, and covered it with an equal weight of white sugar. I then sealed it and left it for 48 hours, just like our coffee. The flavor of the pineapple and the oils from our pucks infused with the sugar, giving us this light and fruity syrup, rich with the character of our geisha. I'm adding 24 grams, turning that note of dried apricot on your espresso to a new note of toffee. To add balance and some sweetness, I'm adding 50 grams of the same freeze-distilled milk from your milk course. Combined with my espresso, this gives us a new note of the leftover milk from a bowl of Kellogg's Cocoa Pops chocolate cereal. I'm going to shake to incorporate these ingredients and give our drink a creamy texture. I'm going to serve you, but please wait until I call time before drinking. In the meantime, your tasting notes. Peach drinking yogurt, toffee, and the leftover milk from a bowl of chocolate cereal, or Cocoa Pops. Judges, it's been a pleasure serving you today, and I hope that this geisha has shown you that it is neither the luck of nature nor the work of man that creates exceptional coffee, but rather both. The product of terroir combined with the care and expertise of thoughtful producers. I know this is never the opening to a sci-fi action film, but I cannot wait to see the sequel and what Diego does with his incredible coffee cherry next time.